What's up, guys? Told you guys last night, doing stuff a little bit differently. I may at least show you some workout today. Some of this grind. It's early morning, kind of getting to it. It's a beautiful, blessed morning, you guys. Hope you guys feel the same. Let's go. All right, well, drag it. Little frog. All right, guys, are you here with me? To this little moment, first thing in the morning, jump into a little bit higher weight for an exercise I haven't done in a while, an exercise that I've never trained really high weight on. So that's what happens. It's part of it. I think I was just trying to show out for you guys, leaving the heavier weight on there. I mean, it's only 20 pounds extra. But I should have known. And part of me did know. But, you know, it is what it is. Again, that learning process, that growth. What are you going to experience today that will help you grow? Oftentimes, it's going to be some form of failure, perceivable failure. And when I say perceivable failure, I mean, truthfully, a lesson, something you can learn from. Something that doesn't feel so great, but it helps you think about things in a different way. So, guys, have an amazing day. Go get 'em. What's up, guys? Good morning. Having some realizations today as I move into this journey. I told you guys I'm going to document every step. Something I'm realizing this morning is, well, let me start by saying this. For the past year, like I told you guys last night, Books Are Fun has been my bread and butter. They've kept me afloat. They've helped me pay my bills while on the path, while going through my own journey and figuring things out. My managers there have been very understanding. I've been nothing but appreciative to these people because they've worked with me through a lot of different situations. Obviously, with the channel here, with everything I've been doing here for the past year or two, I've had some back and forth when it comes to my time putting in at Books Are Fun. They've been understanding of that. So, with that being said, as I told you guys last night, I've been really broke the past couple of months because I've been putting all of my time into Heartlit and beginning to build Spark and getting it off the ground. So it is revenue generating and it is everything that I know it's meant to be. And being a part of the team there and developing the operation side and developing all these different systems and having a ton of fun and honestly having several quantum leaps just in a short amount of time in terms of what I believe capable of myself. I'm about to have a team of interns working for us. We already have an intern, and just leading full front from the front. It's been such an experience for me, and I couldn't have seen myself doing it just a couple months ago. So what's leading me to this point right now is, as I told you guys last night, I signed up for a training course to get into a sales training or a sales offer, like a closing position. And what I realized last night was that I allowed my ego to get in the driver's seat. I allowed my ego to want to control. I allowed the craze and the experience of Spark starting up, an entirely purposeful business starting up. I allowed it to excite me and then put me in this position where my money is low. And again, this is all a part of the journey. All right, I have no regrets about any of this, but it is something to learn and grow through for me personally as I move forward. So I got into this position and I realized, what happened was I was looking at the bright and shiny. I was looking at these different closing positions, these different roles, because in my mind, my ego justified it by, well, I can go and express my skills in an even greater way. I can go and get into somewhere and make more money and, really be expressing my skills in the way that I'm meant to be. And now, there's nothing wrong with that, but what was happening at the surface level. But for me, consciously, now that I'm thinking about it and working through it, I realized that again, it was my ego trying to control. My ego in this place of uncertainty and a slight bit of uncertainty. Again, I'm at more peace than I ever have been before. But in this position of uncertainty where things are changing and there's so many things in motion. I mean, we have principals going to present Spark to the district office. We have different groups, chambers, different organizations that are moving in cohesion with Spark for us to be adopted in many different ways with the coming school years and as time goes on. And so there's all these different things in motion. I'm talking to new people. I'm meeting new people. I'm becoming this individual who I know I've always meant to be. And I allowed my ego to get in the driver's seat of some parts of my day-to-day actions. So now I'm at this point where I have to take accountability for it, as always, and say, hey, this is what I did wrong. Now, this is me admitting that I did that wrong to the people that need to hear that. And this is me taking the new action with a new mindset that allows me to overcome the previous adversity, that allows me to overcome the previous state of actions and course of actions that was putting me in that position to begin with. So here in a moment, I'll show you guys. I'm probably going to talk to my manager from Books Are Fun and talk to him about coming back. We'll see what he says. He might tell me it's not going to work, but in my mind, Spark starts on Monday, June 23rd. So my plan right now is to start then, earlier on in the day, start like a normal week. I'd start today, but I have a ton of stuff to get prepared for Spark. I have to build workflows. I have to build a couple landing pages, some content. So this weekend is loaded pretty much, or else I'd start today. And that's been its own process as well, to be completely transparent. I'm like, is this just me resisting going back into it? But after journaling through it, I realized, no, I do have a lot of things to do before Spark. But I can jump straight into it on Monday with a renewed mindset that it's all one continuous mission. It's all one purposeful endeavor that is fueling the rest of my life, that is fueling Spark as a whole, and the overall movement. Books Are Fun. Not to mention, it's all in alignment. This is what I was journaling on a moment ago. It's all in alignment. Working with Books Are Fun, creating Spark and Heartled, it's all youth development. It's all building the proper purpose and initiative and thing in the world that is purposeful to me, which is helping kids. Once again, part of my story, I was this fucked up kid. I had terrible mindsets, terrible ideas about the world. And everything that I get to do nowadays is helping those same kids, helping kids that were like me or not like me, but develop and work on the things that they need to work on. Spark is obviously my higher vision and journey, and something that I've created and been on the right teams to be creating with. Books Are Fun came to me naturally. Books Are Fun came when I met them in Arizona, like I told you guys last night. I went out for a sales training seminar for life insurance. I was in life insurance. Things were going terribly because the leadership was falling apart. The leads were falling apart. There was all this uncertainty. So I doubled down on myself. I controlled the only thing I could control, which was my sales closing rate, how good I was at doing my job. So I went out to Arizona, paid thousands of dollars for a course, and to go out there and learn from the guys directly in person. And I just happened to meet the president and the CEO of Books Are Fun. Learning about, and being at a sales seminar where I'm already halfway in, halfway out of life insurance, and I hear someone stand up and talk about getting more books to kids, it excited me. So naturally, within the month, I was working for them, and I've been with them ever since. You guys know, again, I've been on this journey throughout this whole time. So nothing but gratitude. Again, we're going to have this conversation here in a moment, most likely, and I'll show you guys that as well. So, and I can't hear you. Let's see. Okay. Say something.
You hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing much, man. Much company holiday, so,
Oh, holiday today? Dude.
Yeah, man, it's Juneteenth.
Okay, gotcha. You know, I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry. So you weren't even working today.
Nah,
My bad, man.
I'm working on some.
Oh, okay.
I'm working some today, so it was
Okay.
no big deal. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it either way, man. Um,
Yeah.
so I'll just go ahead and jump into everything if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, man. What's up?
So I told you last week, kind of where I was at, you know, moving around, doing different
Yeah.
things. Just keep it short and sweet, man. I've kind of fucked up in a couple ways. Excuse my language.
Why? What happened?
I mean, not terribly. It's all a part of the journey. You know, and I'm always harder on myself than I should be. But the closing position I was training for, I told you about.
Yeah.
So there was a fee to get into that, right? So
Oh.
yeah, so it's like a training fee and you know all this kind of stuff, and I had put a deposit down for that, and I kind of got screwed over, but I should have read the fine details more so. So you know, always got to take accountability and that kind of thing. But basically, I paid a deposit.
What was the deposit?
So it was 10%. So it was a $5,000 like package to do it.
Oh, yeah, put down 500.
Yeah, so I put 500 down for it. And I was thinking that I was going to be able to, you know, I do the training, I get certified, and I could start. Well, I requested my certification. I've spent the last 2 or 3 weeks doing this training certification, and because that's what the salesman had led me to believe. And it turns out I got to pay off that whole payment before I can start and get certified and basically get placed on one of their offers.
You got to pay off the 4,500 before you can get the certification.
Before you can get the certification. And I was completely, you know,
What's the certification in?
So it's their certification. You know, have you seen Brad Lee online? Okay, so I mean, he's pretty big. He's got a couple million followers, whatever. But he's got a couple different companies. It's their training certification for their closing role. It's basically their entire ecosystem, and you know, it's pretty. I like Bradley. I've watched him for several years, and you know, they do a lot of good business and so on and so forth. But I think what happened was I was just completely vulnerable with the guy, and he was seemingly genuine throughout the whole thing, and the only thing he left out was that part. That's a pretty big part to leave out, you know, especially because I told him, you know, the situation and everything else, and you know how I was gonna have to make it work. So, anyways, I should have read I had an inclination to read the contract a little bit more than I did, but I didn't. So, anyways, I also what I've realized, being where I am and being how I am, is that I allowed my ego to run the show in a certain way. With everything that we have going on with Spark and Heartled, you know, we're about to be generating revenue. We have all these different things in motion. We have, you know, people going to district offices and presenting our stuff, like all these different things. And so everything's in motion, but what I've allowed to happen on my side was, you know, obviously I've been in and out with Books Are Fun this whole year pretty much because of Heartled and developing and stepping into this role and this position where it's helping me grow and I'm learning and I'm doing all these different things, and it's been very cool. But I've taken my mind in several situations off of you know, what's paying me right now, obviously. And so what I'm trying to say here is that you know, I kind of got the bright and shiny, started looking at different things, started looking at closing roles, and my ego justified that. My ego said, hey man, you can go get a closing role and you already have some experience. It'll be a better expression of your talents and skills, you can make more money, you'll be more committed. But really what was happening was it was like a cop-out from not being as disciplined and committed as I should be with Books Are Fun to begin with. Because ultimately Books Are Fun, the endeavors we have here, it feeds my higher purpose. It feeds everything else. It is it's youth development, and that's what I am focusing on altogether. That's what Spark and Heartled is built all around. And so it's just funny, you know, things felt right with the closing, and I don't regret it because at the end of the day, it's taught me stuff. Even the times that I've even the time that I've been learning that, and this whole learning transition. So, anyways, my question, what I wanted to talk to you about would be if it's okay if I came back next week instead of August 1st. With all that being said, I don't know if that position's even open at all, or if that's even a possibility.
Yeah, of course, man. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I wasn't sure. Like,
yeah, man, I love to have you. You know. So of course, yes.
Okay. I appreciate it, Jim.
No problem.
Dude,
Yes, no problem.
I've been stressed.
Dude, now, hold on now. So just question.
Yeah.
So you gotta pay $4,500 for this closing roll. Now, what are you gonna do with that? Like, what's the situation? Are you gonna work toward paying that to the $5,000?
So
where's your head at right now with that?
So I just realized that last night, that it was going to be that way. And where I'm at right now, like, it was going to be a somewhat short-term thing anyway, medium-term, because the way I see it, Spark and Heartlet is going to develop into a full-on ecosystem, a full-on offer, a full-on offer altogether as we grow, where, we'll have higher ticket packages, we'll have everything. And at that point, that can be the main thing that I'm working through and working on. And
right. Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said there. But so yeah, to answer your question, I mean, I can't. I'm behind on my bills as it is. It was a fucking jump ship to get into their program to begin with, because I thought it was gonna work out.
Yeah.
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 So I'm just gonna have to tell them, like, I can't do it. I mean, your salesman kind of lied to me in a certain way, and this isn't gonna work out.
You're not closing to sell other people like he closed you, right?
No, that's
closing.
No, what do you mean? Like, you say, what's the offer? Like, were you saying what's the offer basically?
No, like the guy that closed you on getting the certification. Is that what you would be closing people on?
No. It would, they had a couple different things, couple different offers, but they do offer the training.
Okay.
But I don't think any positions were opening up for that. But yeah, they had like they had life insurance, solar. They had which I wouldn't want to do either of those. But they had two other ones. One was like, they're pretty cool seeming offers. I was gonna be able to, at least in my mind, get behind. But anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Hey. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked where you're at with your territories. Let me take a look here.
Excuse me.
Here. We've always had respect, man. You've always, did your part. I have no problems with you coming back.
Yes, sir. And I'd start today, but I got a lot of stuff. We actually start Spark. So Spark is our summer program that I've been working so much on, and we start on Monday. So that's when we.
Nice.
So everything I've been building there, man. I gotta finish it out. I got some workflows to continue building, emails, all that kind of stuff. I have a seat with Go High Level. One of my life insurance associates, he has a seat for me on Go High Level, which is are you familiar with Go High Level? So it's basically another CRM like HubSpot.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. So it has everything on there, and I've been building a course and a community and all this kind of stuff. So now it's time to jump it fully into action when Monday comes around. We got it. See that, guys? That's what happens when you lead with just authenticity. Jim has been nothing but a help, a mentor in certain ways, a big brother almost. In a lot of ways, he's always been authentic. He's always been genuine with me. He actually follows the channel, so Jim, you might see this. I should have mentioned on the call, man. But as you guys can see, I was just completely genuine. I'm kind of hard on myself a lot of the times. That's something that I'm working through. Jim obviously can tell that. And so, it's just continue to show up, continue to be who you are, continue to lead in it with authenticity and honesty and who you are. You see, if I would have showed up for that call and tried to blame away, Jim wouldn't have understood me as much. He wouldn't have, we wouldn't have had as much of a genuine connection. And we probably wouldn't even be friends at this point anymore. And that's not how I like to live my life. So